Hey guys, it's Goldie, and today I'm continuing my series of making Coral Island characters in The Sims 4. I plan to continue this series until I make all of the Coral Island characters and all of their houses in The Sims 4. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have a whole Coral Island universe going on. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. For those of you who don't know about Coral Island, it's a relaxing farming sim that features a large cast of diverse characters. I've already made Leah, Ling, Randy, Theo, Lily, and Jim, so you can check those out on my channel. But today, by popular demand, we are creating Mark. Mark is a fan favorite among players because of his big burly stature, strong jawline, and this picture. In fact, he is in my top 3 picks for a husband. However, when you first meet Mark, he's not particularly friendly. He definitely has a gruff personality, and he's a tough guy because he's part of a group that fights monsters in the caverns. But there are signs that he's just a big teddy bear underneath the rough exterior. For instance, he has a soft spot for animals. You can often find him volunteering at the animal shelter in town. I've said this a couple times on livestream, but he reminds me a lot of Geralt from The Witcher. He's a monster hunter, he likes animals more than people, and he's got a scar on his eye. Makes perfect sense to me. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump into The Sims 4. So I started off with a default sim and I named him Mark Shepherd, which is not his name. The game doesn't actually give him a last name, but I had the same issue with Jim, Theo, and Lily's family, and I had given them the last name Towney. But I realized that I don't want all the families to end up having the same last name, so I decided to give Mark a different one. I just randomized the last name in The Sims until it landed on one that I thought sounded good. Anyway, he is a young adult with pronouns he, him. I gave him the tough walk style instead of the default one, and his voice sounds like
Quaxinus Vopea.
For his aspiration, I chose Friend of the Animals for obvious reasons that we just discussed. For his traits, I chose Dog Lover because even though I believe he loves cats and dogs, he does own a dog, and one of his cutscenes involves him rescuing a dog, so it seemed fitting. Also, I gave him the unflirty trait because of the fact that he's so standoffish. He doesn't really seem like the flirty type. And lastly, I chose the adventurous trait because of his monster hunting side. I know this doesn't translate perfectly into The Sims, but it's the closest that I could get. As we can see from his portrait, Mark is a big boy. So I started off by making the sim as big as I possibly could. He's not even really overweight, he is just a very large man. So I started trying out some different presets for the different features of his face. His eyes gave me a bit of trouble because the shape and size is a bit difficult to imitate in The Sims without making him a little wide-eyed and crazy looking. But I continued making good progress on his face until my recording software decided to glitch and stop recording without me realizing it. And in the meantime, I had finished his face and I really didn't want to redo it in case it turned out different. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you that process, but I'll give you an overview of some of the main features that I chose. So this is the beard option, which is from the base game. I gave him the scar over his eye from the werewolf pack, which was very convenient. I was pretty excited when I realized that that type of skin detail is actually in the game and I didn't need custom content. I also gave him some light freckles across his nose from the high school years pack. This is the eyebrow option I chose. It is from the base game as well. And the hair, as you can tell, is custom content. It's made by Anto. I was debating between this hairstyle and the one with the fade on the sides, which is more accurate, but I was conflicted because the one with the fade is more combed straight back, which didn't look right to me, so I went back and forth between these two a lot. I chose the longer hairstyle in the moment, but you'll see by the end of the video, I actually changed it back to the fade one. And of course, his beautiful blue eyes. There's no option that really does them justice. It's like a very dark bluish green color. I was really wishing I had some custom content eyes at this point. Alright, so I started with his watch because I wanted to try out the new feature from the latest update that allows you to apply an item to all outfits. It was surprisingly hard to find a watch that looked similar because all the Fitbit type watches were big and bulky and colorful, but once I decided on one, I used the new feature to apply to all. I had to press the main button, not the drop down, and it actually worked. It's such an awesome improvement and long overdue. So for his everyday outfit, he's wearing an unbuttoned collared shirt with a t-shirt underneath. Right off the bat, I found this option from the Perfect Patio Stuff Pack that matched almost perfectly. I couldn't find the right color, so I just chose the black option. Also, the sleeves weren't rolled up either, but beggars can't be choosers. Moving on to the pants, I was able to find a slouchy pair of cargo pants pretty quickly. They're from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. Then it was a matter of choosing the right boots. The way his portrait is drawn, it makes his legs look kind of short, I don't know why, so I wasn't sure how tall his boots should be proportionally, but I found this pair from the Get Famous pack that worked pretty well, even though they do look kind of ratty. The other option was the boots from the Snowy Escape pack. So I might use those later, but I ended up sticking with the Get Famous ones for now. I also tried to add his necklace, but it doesn't work with his shirt, unfortunately, so never mind. Lastly, I did scroll through the rest of the shirts to see if there was a better option that I was missing, but there was not. I guess first time's the charm on this one. His formal wear in the game is his wedding outfit, so I'm not going to show you a picture of that because it's kind of a spoiler, but I will quickly just pick something that looks pretty similar. Next up, his summer outfit is a hoodie with the sleeves cut off, which was pretty hard to find. Everything from The Sims was an open zip-up jacket with an undershirt, so eventually I had to go with a custom content option. I wanted to use the same pants from his everyday outfit, so I went back and used that copy feature again. So cool. We're gonna completely ignore his tool belt, by the way, because this is The Sims and I can only do so much. Lastly, I decided to go with the Snowy Escape boots this time because they do have the ties on the front. Moving on to his winter outfit, we've got some light colored jeans and snow boots. I ended up going back to the Get Famous boots because they do look like they have fur inside, and then I landed on a pair of custom content jeans. Then I went to go find a jacket, and lo and behold, this one from the Horse Ranch pack was perfect. Right down to the wool lining and the undershirt with 3 buttons on top. Like, that's crazy. Next, we'll do his fall outfit, which will be his party wear in The Sims. First off, he's got his same old boots. Then we have some slouchy black pants. I chose these ones that have stripes, which is kind of weird, but I liked that it has the brown belt hanging down, similar to in the portrait. Again, we're going to be ignoring his tool vest and his scarf because The Sims just cannot. But I was able to find a button-down shirt that's halfway tucked in, and it's even the correct orangish red color. The last portrait we have for Mark is his swimwear, which does not leave a lot to the imagination, let me tell you what. At this point, I realized I forgot to give him body hair, so I took a moment to figure that out. I usually forget about this feature, to be honest, but it definitely came in handy for a bit more realism here. I was finally able to give him his necklace without a shirt being in the way. We don't have the goggles, but that's alright. And then I just had to find him a Speedo in a similar color, and that is about it for this outfit. For his sleepwear, I figured Mark would choose something minimal, similar to his swimwear, so I went through a few different custom content boxer options until finally deciding to just stick with the default underwear, but now I'm kind of wishing I had chosen the hearts. Lastly, I chose something simple for his activewear. Since there is no portrait for this, it was pretty subjective, so I just chose a simple hoodie, shorts, and sneakers. And that, my friends, is Mark. As you can see, I changed his hair at the last minute. Tell me if you think I made the right choice there. I really could not decide. I also went back and fixed his skin tone. I completely forgot about that at the beginning, and I realized he was way too tan, so I lightened up his skin tone as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing. I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye!